So, these are my thoughts on X-Men 97, Season 1, Episode 9, Tolerance is Extinction, Part 2. Another episode I love. Spoilers for the show leading up to and including this episode, as well as the original animated 90s X-Men show. Possibly also some of the movies, we'll see. This episode is rated TV-14. I was gonna say, I don't know how they got away with this on TV-PG. This one is TV-14. So, let's dive right in. Holy crap, this was amazing. I contained my excitement as long as I could. Wow. Okay. In no particular order, did not think we were gonna see Magneto pulling the adamantium out of Wolverine's body, which is quite a famous event in the comics. Like, I guess I'll keep it vague and say one of the Fox X-Men movies did feature a very distinct reference to it. I honestly, at the time I was like, wow, I did not think we were ever going to get, like, the actual thing, much less in a Disney adaptation of, like, holy crap. Yeah, I quite appreciated the consequences of Magneto's, worldwide EMP, and yeah, like I didn't think that I would be saying that Magneto had been restraining himself up to this point, but I guess he has been. He could have done this the entire time. Yeah, and we see that regular, mutants who had nothing to do with this, who didn't want Magneto to do it, who didn't, convince him to do it or anything, being attacked, because bigotry completely destroys your ability to think critically. Like, it's one thing that they're like, of course they're upset about the EMP, and, they see these mutants and they think, well, it was a mutant who did this. Hypothetically, if I was in their shoes, I would be like, is there any chance you can talk to Magneto and get him to stop this, But instead they attack as if that's in any way likely to get it to stop, Loved seeing Storm come to the rescue of Roberto and Jubilee. And, a bit later in the episode, she reminds us why there are people who think of her as a goddess. Like, that's the specific term. They're not like, oh, she's pretty powerful. No, they say goddess, and there's a reason for that. That was really cool. I really appreciate this thing of, like, Jean and Scott settling into, like, they're not being quite as pushy with Nathan anymore, And, yeah, loved it in the trailer, loved seeing it in the episode. What were you expecting? Black leather, which, like, yeah. Come on. In those movies, it's like, oh, we're not wearing spandex, that's for sure. It's not going to be, like, bright and colorful. Yeah, but you really think tight black leather uniforms are going to age much better than that? There's a happy medium, is all I'm saying. But yeah, really glad that they're back to that. Didn't last long, but it was very cool to see Roberto in an X-Men uniform. Yeah, the fact that Rogue and Roberto joined Magneto, not hugely surprising, but I always appreciate when they make these things make sense, The Fox movies did have a non-zero amount of times where that happened, where heroes would join a villain, but yeah, it happens a lot in the comics as well. Part of the fun of comics is seeing people go between different teams. I really hope that they don't actually kill off Jean, which is, like, looking... I don't know how she would have made the... Yeah, I do really appreciate that, her dying thought is if this turns out to be her death. But when she feels like I'm not gonna make it, she says I love you to Scott, which not the best thing tactically, but it was still very sweet. And I feel like there was right Sinister versus Jean, so cool. I did quite enjoy the thing of Morph trying to get close to Bastion with the little thing, and Neutralizer, I think it was, which also, like, they're telling Storm, so that thing that traumatized you for life, we're gonna weaponize it, and you're gonna, and they're like, you know what, okay, maybe not, maybe now's the time for not that, which, like, yeah, it's, like, obviously Storm is happy to be back. She's grateful for what Forge did do to help. She's still not a fan of the neutralizers, understandably so. Right, I like the detail that Forge, like, yeah, at some point he was like, there's some chance Magneto's gonna, like, try to use an EMP to take out, I'm not sure he necessarily thought it's gonna be the entire world. He might have just thought, if I have to go up against him, he might do that, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I like the detail that Shi'ar technology did, that makes a lot of sense. They were able to block the EMP. It's cool to see Jean in the Marvel Girl costume for hopefully not the last time. Yeah, such a cool fight between Magneto, Magneto and his two X-Men, and then the rest of the X-Men. And yeah, like Roberto, as he says, my own mom turned against me, and sadly that is something you do see in real life. Sometimes people will be rejected by loved ones, when they come out as trans or gay or any other letter of the LGBTQ plus, so yeah, that was very credible. I think, right, I like where Magneto goes, goes down to the, and Charles is like, that's your asteroid, what are you talking about? Of course this is a, and yeah, near the end of the episode, Magneto's like, I'm gonna do something that I've wanted to do since the moment I met you. Shut up, I think. Oh, right, really cool that Nathan is, extremely powerful, telekinetic, and yeah, typical Sinister turning loved ones against each other. Really cruel. And yeah, the fact that he stayed, Jean is like, I thought you'd be too much of a coward to still be with Bastion. And he's like, no, Bastion, who? No, I'm here to screw with you. That's what I'm here, this is, I'm setting fire to my paycheck. I don't give a crap about this guy. I just want to, yeah, absolutely in character. I think that. Oh, right, so devastating when, the I love that I'm so glad that Kurt has been on the show as much as he has. He's when you handle his character right. And I think the movies did pretty decently. The original animated show maybe made him a little too preachy, as Lindsay Ellis pointed out. But yeah, so far here he's just such a sweetheart. Who can not love this guy? And he's watching over Rogue, and the moment that she's yeah, he teleports over there, and this thing of there was someone else who survived, and she's like, Remy, and it's like, no, that's yeah. Uh, Right, really cool when Bastion sends all the Sentinels. Really appreciate the line of oh, he must be controlling them with technopathy. Like, I'd like to think I would have put it together eventually, but I will say, in the scene, I was like, is there something blocking the EMP? Because I guess I could see once, when they're still behind the pod bay doors. I'm sorry, Baz, I can't let you do that. I guess they could, but then they leave and they're fully operational. But yeah, technopathy, and that was also really cool when we see him hooked up to the wires and just, yeah. And yeah, him speaking through the Sentinels was very, very cool. I really appreciate that everyone got to air their grievances with that can wait, with Xavier, and this thing of just, yeah. I hope that's not too distracting of a noise. I think I'm gonna finish up anyway. Yeah, this thing of, eventually, Scott is like, I think the blame game needs to go on hold. After all, I did already get my turn. No, he did actually let them, point that stuff out. And I really appreciate that Xavier didn't turn into like a blubbering mess over that. He was like, okay, fair enough. I did make mistakes. Yeah, I think that's everything. Love this episode. Can barely wait. It's going to be such a difficult wait to for an entire week to get to watch the finale. Thank you for waiting. I realize I'm slightly late, but again, physical pain and yeah. I'm getting some treatments for that tomorrow, so this is probably how I'm gonna be scheduling it until I'm feeling better. Doing these short videos right before treatments, and yeah. Really, really love this episode. So many such dramatic moments. Right, I love the helmet. They managed to get the helmet off Magneto, and Xavier tries to use his powers, and this thing of like Scott is like, holy crap, Xavier, like, you're not being super, like, you're not going easy on him. Like, he's screaming in agony. Magneto is. But yeah, and Magneto puts the helmet on Charles to stop him from using the telepathy, which is clever. Like, I don't see any reason why that wouldn't work. It's the helmet blocks the telepathy. There's no reason that it can't block it from going out, not only from going in. Yeah, amazing episode. Yeah, right, I love this thing of like, Magneto's up in space. We'll slap a couple of extra engines on the Blackbird jet, I want to say it's called, and we'll fly up there, and that's not, I really love how comic booky these have gotten recently. Yeah, I'm really, really, really looking forward to the finale. Yeah. I hope you are too.